Luxury car makers have realized that one strategy works really well in India. Take an SUV, extend its wheelbase, and buyers love the extra legroom that you get inside. That is something that BMW has done with this SUV. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the 2026 BMW X1 Long Wheelbase. Now, the company has seen this strategy work really well with the all-electric iX1 Long Wheelbase, which currently outsells its ICE sibling. Now, BMW hopes to replicate that success with the X1 Long Wheelbase, and it's not just extra legroom. You also get more tech and a more powerful petrol engine on offer. But does that make this a better SUV, or is it just all good on paper? Well, let's find out. However, before I do that, if you are new to the channel, do subscribe to Car and Bike. And while you're at it, hit that bell icon as well, so you get updates about all these videos that we make for you. Visually, the X1 Long Wheelbase looks quite similar to the standard model. You still get the familiar kidney grille, 4-eye adaptive LED headlights and 18-inch M alloy wheels. The main additions are the satin finish aluminium inserts around the windows and on the rear bumper. So there isn't major changes to the styling. The bigger story is actually what BMW has done with the X1's size and proportions. Now, the BMW X1 Long Wheelbase isn't about making this SUV look bigger, it is about making it more practical. So you see, the wheelbase has been increased by 108 mm, whereas the overall length of this SUV has gone up by 116 mm. But does that translate into a roomier cabin? Let's find out. Well, the short answer is yes. BMW says that the overall legroom for the rear seat space has been increased by 109 mm, whereas the seat itself has been extended by 15 mm. So theoretically, that should offer you better legroom and better under thigh support as well. But it's not just on papers. In actuality, I can experience that difference. Now you see, the front seat is set to my seating position, yet I have tons of legroom over here. I could quite comfortably sit. Also, this armrest helps me get a comfortable position, and this under thigh support too is really good. So yes, it's not just on paper. In practicality too, the X1 or the X1 Long Wheelbase has improved. Getting in and out has become easier with the wide opening rear doors, and the large rear window along with the panoramic sunroof helps makes the cabin feel more spacious. The features list meanwhile remains largely unchanged from the standard X1. You get the wide dual screen setup running BMW OS 9, wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, a wireless phone charger, an M leather steering wheel and a floating center console. BMW also offers a Harman Kardon sound system and powered front seats with memory function. But one feature that is still missing is seat ventilation. Now, one of the big updates is also under the hood. As I mentioned earlier, you get a more powerful petrol engine, and it is a 1.5 liter 3-cylinder turbo petrol, of course, like the previous one, the outgoing one, but it is more powerful. In fact, this is the up-tuned version that you get in the Mini Countryman C that is now offered with the X1 Long Wheelbase as well. In terms of output itself, you get about 20 brake horsepower more. So now it produces 154 bhp, whereas the torque output stands at 230 Newton meters. That remains unchanged. On paper, of course, that figure is higher, and you do feel the difference. It feels more powerful. It feels a bit more grunty, and that is a good thing. But it is, after all, a 3-cylinder motor, so there is quite a bit of turbo lag in the lower revs. However, the engine is quite peppy. It builds up power and speed quite nicely. But more than that, what I like is how refined the engine feels. It is quite smooth, and even the shifts are quite nice. You still get that 7-speed dual clutch transmission, the S-tronic transmission. It does a fine job at sending power to the front wheels. You do not get an all-wheel drive unit. You only have a front-wheel drive setup as before. So nothing has changed in that department too. Now, one update that I wish BMW had offered with the new X1 Long Wheelbase is improved the steering feel as well, because it is a bit too light for my liking. Now, that feels great when you're driving the car in traffic conditions or you're driving in narrow lanes where you need to maneuver the car easily. that is all great. But when you're driving the car at higher speeds, I wish the steering offered a bit more feedback. It offered me a bit more connect with the road. That is missing right now. That would be the only thing that I would want to improve. Whereas the brakes are very good. Another thing that has been updated on the mechanical front though is the suspension system. Yes, now you get BMW's comfort suspension pack. I do feel the better ride quality behind the wheel, of course, but the best place to experience that would be in the back seat. So let me head over there and talk more about it. Now, to give that perfect chauffeur-driven experience, BMW had to do two things. One, offer extra legroom with that extended wheelbase setup. And the second thing was to offer better ride quality. And that is what you get with the comfort suspension on offer. The overall ride feels a lot more smoother. It feels a lot more supple, and it feels the SUV itself is quite pliant. Now, I never had any complaints with the ride quality of the previous X1, the standard wheelbase, of course. But with this, things have certainly improved, and overall the comfort level has gone up. So until and unless you experience something like a big pothole or a really bad patch of road, you barely feel any harshness inside the cabin. All the undulations, all the smaller bumps are nicely soaked up, and it gives you a very smooth, very comfortable ride. So if you're someone who is not buying the X1 for its driver oriented attributes and would like to buy it for a chauffeur driven experience, then with this update, the X1 Long Wheelbase certainly ticks all the right boxes. Now, there are certain things that I wish BMW had offered to improve the rear seat experience, and on top of that list would be offering window curtains. Yes, there are no sunshades on offer even with this update, and I wish that more and more brands, at least in the luxury space, should offer this as a standard rear seat pack, because nowadays you get it even in mass market subcompact SUVs. Another thing would be offering an accessory stand or an accessory connection over here that would allow the users to connect their iPads or any mobile devices to get some rear seat entertainment. That would too have been a good addition. And the third thing that I wish BMW had offered for rear seat occupants would be separate blower controls for the rear AC vents. Right now you do not get them.
Safety too has been stepped up. Along with the standard kit including 6 airbags, brake assist and electronic stability control, the X1 Long Wheelbase now gets ADAS as well. This includes front collision and rear cross traffic warning with brake intervention, lane departure and lane keep assist, and dynamic cruise control with braking, among other functions. BMW also offers its Park Plus function with a 360-degree camera, which has now made parking and maneuvering the X1 that much easier on Indian roads.
Now, the outgoing X1 standard wheelbase is priced at 50,90,000 rupees, whereas its diesel version is priced at 52,90,000 rupees. Now, BMW hasn't revealed the prices for the long wheelbase version, but we know that the long wheelbase format will be only offered for the petrol, whereas the diesel will continue with the standard wheelbase. We also need to see whether the diesel counterpart will get updates like the ADAS and the 360-degree camera with Park Plus or not. But if it does, then the prices are likely to go up. Now, if BMW managed to keep the ex-showroom prices under 55 lakhs for both these variants, then the upgrade will be certainly worth the premium. However, if it goes beyond that, then it would be a little hard to justify. Having said that, overall the X1 Long Wheelbase has certainly come out as a better package. It offers better cabin room, it offers better performance, and it offers you better safety tech as well. So yes, to answer my initial question, the X1 Long Wheelbase has certainly become a better SUV, not just on paper, but in real life too. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow enthusiasts. And if you have any more questions about the SUV, you can put them down in the comments below and we will try to answer them. And if you don't want to miss out on such videos, then keep following Car and Bike for all the updates.